Hey guys, welcome back. In the last video, we made a connection to the database where we could display the index page for users, which you can see is still working, making a request to the server, and grabbing the current set of users in the system. So one of the things we didn't talk about in the last video is why I passed in limit and offset, and that is because in the later videos I'm going to show you pagination. But for this video, we're just going to start going over the CRUD. So I'm probably going to do one CRUD per video, one piece of CRUD for the video. This is the R in CRUD, because if you don't already know, CRUD stands for create, read, update, and delete, with the idea being verbs that represent different actions upon data objects, right? So we've already done read, right? So we need to create we need to have a create page, an update page, and a delete page. Now, the delete page is actually going to be satisfied by a delete button, so there's not going to be a delete page. So the verb here of delete, or the action of destroy, doesn't actually have a page associated with it, where the edit button actually does, because which would be the verb of update, has an update page where you display one resource's data, right? Hence the edit page here. And then when you change something, you put or patch the data to the server. So there's a /edit here with the ID number here, and then you put to the ID with the resource, like so. And then creates the same way. You have a create page here, and then you have a store, which saves it. So this is what you set the data, and then you store. And then you have just a basic show. So we're not going to really use show, because we're going to use edit for show. The difference between show doesn't have the ability to change the data, and edit does, but we don't really have a need for show in this video series. So, but if you have a need for it, it's essentially the same thing as edit, except for you don't allow the user to put a change onto the server. Okay, so let's get rid of show. Okay, and we can also get rid of index, because, well, index is this page here. We're already done with that. Let's start with create. So we're going to create a new resource. And in this case, it would be a user. So the first thing we need to do is have a create page. So let's actually do it right above in the oh my gosh, in the caption up here in the nav bar, or in the table, excuse me. Okay, so on the index page for the users, we have this caption that has users page. We can say test save, and you'll see it updates. It's hot reload, right? Okay. We're gonna call this caption. We're inside the caption. We're gonna have a new. Let's do an anchor. Okay. Actually, not router link, because we're using view router. We'll fix that in a second. We'll say create new user. We'll save that. Okay, we got a link there. Now the create action is a get, okay, to this URL. So we're actually not using photos, we're using users. So let me just fix this here real quick. Users, user. I like to use Laravel's route there, explain how to use the controllers, because I think it's nice and clean looking and it makes sense. So whenever I'm building, I don't really do a whole lot of CRUD, so but when I do, I like to use that, because it's nice and concise and clear. All right, okay. So and I think for you guys, it's kind of nicely laid out and makes a lot of sense. And then once you memorize this, you won't need to copy and paste it. I only copy and pasted it because I thought it might be useful for you guys. Other way. Okay, so we need to do this route, users create, and the idea is users being the model and create being the action on that model, right? All right, so we're gonna do users create. There we go. Okay, now we have a link, and you can see down here that's correct. Now we need to actually create a route for that link, so we'll do it in our router here. And we'll do a new router, routes dot push, right? Okay, path was users create, and component users meta users create. There we go. Meta, and that is going to be an object with auth true, because it requires auth in order to reach this route. Okay, What's going on here? What did I mess up? Users, oh that's right, I haven't created the component for users create, which we will do that right now. And then this is going to be create.view. We'll save that. It's going to complain because there isn't an actual component there. So we're going to say view. Oh my gosh. Component view. There we go. And this needs to be saved as create.view. Okay, so there we go. Save. And we can just do a quick little span create user like so, and we'll show that it actually does work. Create user. We need to use UIKit's form because that's just the easiest way to do it. And since we're using UIKit as the styling, we'll go to their page here, form. It's faster, I think, to do it that way. Form. Okay. So we have a little form here, nice and simple. We're going to add horizontal to it. So where's that example? Stacked. We don't. Well, you know what? We'll use stacked. We'll use stacked. That's fine. Okay. So let's do form uk-form stacked. Okay. Div label. What do users have? They have first, last, and email, right? I guess they have a password and confirm passwords. We're going to need that. Say UK form label like so, and we're gonna call this the first name. I'm gonna say div UK form controls. Okay, and then let's see here. We're gonna say. Okay, input.uk input vModel first. Now we're going to say users create. We need to have a data object here, data function return object, and then we'll say first as our example, and then we'll do a placeholder here, placeholder first name. We need to have that's very odd. I don't know if I like that, the extra div there, but that's okay. So I don't normally use a whole lot of forms in applications that I write at work because well, we use sockets, not HTTP, so it's different. But anyway, okay. Last, and the application has a different use case as well. So last, there's that. We need to have a, let's see, first, last, email, and then we need to have password and confirm password. So we'll just do this for now. Password, and then confirm. Confirm, and then firm, and then this is actually going to be type, not text, but it's going to be type password. I don't think, yeah, we're going to have to do it like so. Type password, comma. Okay, then we need to have last, email, password, and confirm password. It's probably complaining over there because there's no data tied, to these V models. It's saying, hey, it needs to have that available. Okay, there we go. Users, we're going to create a new user. Here's our well, not very nice form. We need to have. We'll just do a super dirty little HR here, horizontal line, basically. We'll do div, and then we'll do a button, UK button primary. We'll say create, and then we'll have a @ click create. Okay, we need to have a method that ties to that. Methods create let VM equals this, and then we'll just, for now, we'll say console log VM. Okay, nice and simple. Oh, we need to do one more. We need to do a back. So actually, because of the way components are made, you have to have one root element, not more than one. We need room for our anchor, or in this case, router link. Link to users back to users. Save. Okay, so we'll go here. Create user. That works. Create new user. We have our create button. We can hit create. Oh, actually, that should not have done that. Why is... Oh, I need to do type button. That way it doesn't submit. And then we can do .prevent. That shouldn't allow for anything to post. Okay, we test it. There we go. You can see that the data itself is empty at the moment. Let's fill it out. We'll say first name John Doe John at mail.com. We'll do just some. We'll just do pass. We'll clear this out. Create. Look at the data. Email is filled out. First, last, password. Okay, confirm password. We'll say disabled if confirm password. Actually, we'll say validate. And then this will be a method called validate, and I'll say return this dot password dot length is greater than 1, and this dot password confirm dot length is greater than 1, and this dot password is equal to this dot password confirm. Okay, now this is disabled. See, we'll say 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Didn't I do that right? And this validate. Oh, gotta bind it. That's why. There we go. Okay. Okay, users, create user. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. That should validate. Why? Oh, compute. Oh, okay. Oops. Computed. I put that in the wrong spot. There we go. And validate. That should do it. Okay. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. And this password. I'm having a hard time with this. Okay. It's disabled if this is less than 1, or this is not equal to, because it's the other way around. Because you're saying if it's true, it's disabled. So there we go. Okay. So 1 2 3 4 1 2 3. Hold on. Why is it not? Should be the other way around. Oh, and these are also need to be OR statements. There we go. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. You'll see that. Okay, good. And then if these are all both empty, since empty is not a valid password, there we go. Okay, so you have some super basic. Okay, I don't need to see that. Some super basic validation on passwords, and then if you really want to, you can come over here and say, div span passwords are required and must match, and you can say v show not val. He'll do this valid form. Okay, and then we say dot text danger, I believe, is the 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, and then valid form. The show if valid form. That doesn't seem right. If not valid, shouldn't it be the other way around? Create user 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. This is not right. The name of this not valid form. If it's not valid, disabled. If it's not valid, then show this. Okay, that's right. Okay, so okay, so now we have a basic user here. So let's say let new user is equal to first vm.first last vm.last email vm.email and password vm.password. Okay, and then we need to do vm dot store dot dispatch users create, and then new user. And then once that happens, once the return on that happens, we can set the route for it. So we can say then data. We're not going to actually do anything with that data. vm.router.push path users, and we'll say this is really, you use an alert system. You use an actual system here. We'll say user created. Don't ever use alert in production. That's just because we're doing a demo here. Okay, catch error alert. Oh, I feel so dirty doing that. Let's create an error function in here just for now. Error message like so, and then error, and then just info message, and then we'll say alert message. And then later on we can actually add some cool little library or something like that there. I actually like Alertify, so I'll probably end up adding that at some point. And then we'll say vm.root.info. At least that way it's, you don't have to use that super dirty alert. root.error. Okay. So there's that. It's going to complain when I try and create now because that route doesn't exist. And I'll prove it to you by going to create new user. We'll say 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 create unknown action type users create. So let's go into the module store users here and let's create that action. Create. I don't really want to copy and paste all this, so I'm going to I don't really want to type it all out, so I'm going to just copy and paste like so. And then we're going to say, let's see, new promise, enter. I'll type that out. Let res equals await. So response, by the way. Root state dot root server request. Okay. So in this case, it is once again v. Oh, I need to do template string. V state dot version. I'm already not liking that. I'm going to figure out a better way to do that routing. I don't like it. V users create, and then we're going to pass in as an object this data. This is going to be new user here. New user, and we'll save that here like so. Now watch, this is actually going to fail because that route doesn't actually exist. And then this request, we need to go into our server here, and the third argument is the method. In this case, we're actually posting. So go to the README, and the post a new user is actually just users and post. So users, and it is a type post. Okay. There we go. And then we can just return resolve res, which is results. Man, there's a lot of communication tonight. Okay, there we go. All right, so I'll show you real quick on the server. Is going to say, hey, that route doesn't exist because it doesn't. But let's just show that happening. Create new user. We'll say John Doe John at mail.com 123123, and we'll post 405. So we haven't had error handling, but we'll see a method not allowed because there's no method on post users. So let's go ahead and add that now. Now, of course, normally with the error handling, you would be handling that properly, but at this point, we're not doing that because, well, this is just a basic app to show. I'd leave that to you to go add actual error handling. All right, so let's close this stuff out here because that should just handle everything the way it's supposed to. We should be done client side. Now let's go to the API. We'll source. Let's see here. Controllers v1. Well, we don't need that because we should have basic. Well, we'll add it here in a second. Routes users, and we need to have a store.go, and we can steal the index for now. Go to store. All right, this is going to be store, and then we're going to be pulling the data from the body, right? So, okay, and then we're going to store, and we're going to have a user object of some sort. Okay, sorry, I'm back. Okay, so now we need to parse the body of the request. So let's see, we don't need any of this stuff right here. We do need a new user, so we have the we have users here. So we'll say, or actually we have it here. So we'll say user, or oops, var user users.user for the type. We need to use the JSON. It's the oh my gosh, decoder. Or I might have to Google this. JSON.new. Oh, there we go. New decoder. Request dot body. Okay, and then we say. Oh, I believe it's error decoder dot. Is it decode? I think it might be. Reference user, and then we should be able to just do that. Now we don't actually need a packet. Let's see. I guess we can just send back the user. We're gonna need the ID, right? So we'll reference. Reference the user. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna just it's been a little while since I've done this. So let's see here. I believe decoder does return. Oh, maybe it doesn't return an error. We should be fine. And then log.print l. Oh my gosh. Line, please. Okay, and then user. That should do it because first, last, email, everything should match up. Stringify, yeah, it should match up. Let's try it. Okay, so we'll do this. Okay, oh, yeah, it's not going to be used. That's fine. There we go. Okay, user. We'll try it. Go. Post user. Oh, we didn't assign that route. So we go to the router here, router, and then add the users post, and then store. There we go. Oh, and we need to change the name to store. Save. Okay, now it should go. And go. User created. Yay. Okay. So it didn't actually parse it there, it looks like. Was there an error? Okay. GoLang parse JSON post. Handling JSON post and go. Decoder. Error, decode. And that should have worked. Let's just see if there's an error. Error. If error is not, it's not equal to nil, we're gonna log dot print line error. Okay. There we go. And then we will create new user. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, and post. Invalid character I and literal expecting A. Okay, let's go to our server. Oops. Down on our client. Pretty sure that's how you parse it. Decoder, new decoder, quest.body. Okay. Let's log that body, r.body. I think you can, isn't it body, body form maybe? It's body post. Post form. I believe you can just do that. Okay. Create new user for F 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Go. Map, nothing there. Is it post form value? Email. Oh, it's been so long since I've done this. Okay. Create user. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Okay. Into file 4. Oh, look at that. It did grab email, which was what I was looking for. Okay, we'll just do it that way. That's fine. So we'll do... Okay, so we'll say... We'll do it that way. We'll say... var, or actually we'll do this. We'll say if... if email is not equal to nil, I think you can do that. Or you have to cast it, I believe, right? Don't you have to cast it? That's not going to work. You're going to have to cast it equal to nil because it's going to be an interface. So we'll do this. We'll say email first, last, and first, last, and then password, right? Password. Okay. All right, and then we can say, let's see, cast interface to strings. When you say if error hold on a second. Okay, and I'm back. All right, so here we assign the first, the last, and the email from the post object here, and then we're going to take the password and we need to parse it into. We need to convert it into encrypted, so it's encrypted, and we're going to store it in the DB. So we need to go up to our test passwords, and we're using the system passwords right here, package that we wrote earlier. We're going to paste that up here like so. We're actually going to call it passwords because it's a little easier in my mind. Okay, system passwords, password.go. We're going to say encrypt. So password.encrypt, it sends a string and it returns a string and an error. So we're going to say if user.password is equal to passwords.encrypt, where we pass in password, error is not equal to nil. Then we're just gonna say user dot. We're gonna send an error back. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna say HTTP dot. Let's see. That is internal error, right? Internal server error. Yep. Unable to encrypt password. And then we should have a fully encrypted user. Let's take a look at it. And we'll see. Oh, we gotta restart our server. Non-password on the left side. Non-name patties. Wait, hold on. Let's not type string and nil. Oh, did I do it backwards? Oh, return error. Okay. Oops, I did it backwards. Return error second. There we go. And then that should handle it. Non-name user password on left. Huh. Okay, so we'll say encrypted password if error is not equal to null, and we'll say log.print line encrypted password. Okay, and we'll say when 3 1 2 3. We should get a nasty little password, which we did. Okay, and then we can say user.password is equal to encrypted password. Alright, now we can use our users. You know what? Our DB object, we have a store in there. We're just going to use that. Forget about it, right? We'll just use that. So, that should, let's see, db.insert. So let's go to xorm insert. Oops. Insert. And then, yep, just reference it instead. So, and if we can pass in this reference here, and it will just work. So that's exactly what we'll do. So we'll say db.store. We should be able to just reference that. And it should just work. db.store. So we need to grab system db. That's going to be db store, and then we can log.print our new user, which should have the ID in there, and then we can return that user with the response. Okay, that should be it. That should, oh, hold on, no variables left inside. Store 29 doesn't that return an error? It does. So why? Oh no, new error. Oh no, new, because the I had forgotten that we had done that right here. Okay. You know what we'll do? We'll do this. We'll say if error if error not equal to nil, and then we'll return the error here. Internal server error, unable to store user. Okay, and there we go. Oh my gosh. Encoding JSON. Okay, and then that should be all we need. Create user, say we'll actually try it, a real user. John Doe at mail.com 123 123. Create. User created. Oh, look at that, it worked. We should be able to log out and be John at mail.com. And then 123, we should be able to log in as John. And we did! Yay! Okay, perfect. So that worked. So there is store for you. Once again, to go over what we did, we created a route and a form to store the users. We added a route back to users. We created a function in here that allowed us to dispatch to the store, which used the server to post a store request. And then on our server itself, we added a store route in our router, which is here, and we defined that route in our store file that we created in our routes users right here. We grabbed the form data. Now, of course, in production, you do validation and blah, blah, blah. We encrypted the password. We assigned it to the user. We stored it using our DB object. This is sort of our kind of DB ORM in a way. And then we're going to remove this print here. Then we took that user, we marshaled it into JSON, and then we returned it back to the client. And the client should... Well, the client actually has no use for it. I guess you could actually take that response back and do something with it, but I didn't really see a point. And then you went back to the user on the response right here, and we said, oh, hey, user created. And then we went back to the user's page. We're going to remove this, and we're going to say this is newly created user. If you want to do something with it, you can do something with it. Okay, there we go. So that is create. So we'll go to our README. In the last step, oh, that's the wrong one. Our client-side README, and we did our create route. We did our store route, and we finished the CRUD. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time, and we'll probably do the edit next time. All right, thanks, guys.